Hello everyone, and welcome back to my channel. It has been quite a while since you've seen this picture here. As a matter of fact, it's probably been over a year now since I made a video talking about my phone farm. And as you can see, the phone farm is off. And it's been off for quite a while now, almost over 6 months now at this point. And I just wanted to go on because a number of people have been leaving some comments on some of my older videos asking, hey, was I still doing any sort of phone farming? Or, have I done anything different? There is some things different about it that I'll swing over, and I'll show you kind of my setup here. Nothing is on, but I do have a new computer set up. So, there's some other things that I've transferred to doing that makes a little more money as far as than the phone farm right here. And that is really the big deal, is that it started to become much less profitable. And some of the downsides, especially with 2020 and some of the challenges of having a family here at home all the time, whereas normally data usage, not as far as data as far as each phone, because each phone is hooked up to the Wi-Fi, but when you have a number of people home, you're doing people having work from home, people having schooling from home, TV's running constantly, work trying to get done and everything, and bandwidth does become an issue even with upgraded internet service. I still ran into the problem, whereas, other things had to take up priority than the phone farm. So it is unplugged down there at the bottom. You kind of have everything hanging there. Let me know, any of you guys that are still actually doing phone farming. Now, I know most people have switched over to doing crypto mining and stuff like that. Some people have gone on to doing more streaming. I really haven't been too in touch with the phone farming community as such, and really what's left. But I did want to just come on and say that, yeah, my phone farming time seems to have come to an end, unless anybody can honestly say that they're really doing well with phones. And I'm talking about phones, these cheaper phones. That was the big thing, where you could get these $5 phones and you could hook them up. You could get 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 of them running, and you could really do well. I will tell you, this phone farm has made well more money than it costs to build. If you look back through all my videos on phone farming, you'll know that setting up one of these was really cheap, 3 years ago, and you could make incredible amount of money. I think each one's paid for themselves probably 30 or 40 times. But now, there's just no apps available, especially for these older, cheaper phones. I know there still are some for more modern phones with more storage, but really everything is kind of switched away from that type of market. So the phone farm is shut off. Everything has been shut down. Unfortunately, living here in Florida, it is raining outside. I was going to take you guys out for a little tour of what my new ideas are and stuff like that, on what I would like to move the channel to, and it does involve some outdoor type stuff. So look forward to that. I will start to make some more videos because I do want to get back into doing videos here on YouTube. It was never really about a profitable thing as far as making money. Matter of fact, if you know, for the first year or more of this channel, there was not even a vision of even being able to be monetized. So it's not really a money thing. This was just something interesting that, as I learned and grew on YouTube, that I found that I really did like. But unfortunately, it's come the time when it's time to move on to something else. And that something else might be something everybody on this channel likes. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe maybe this is what you were here for. I appreciate you all for hanging in there. We did really well as far as getting the number of subscribers to the channel, over 4,000, and it's been a fun time. It's been a number of years of just making videos, giving myself the chance to learn how to do this stuff. Sorry for everything being shaky. I kind of had to find what I could find to make a video just for this purpose, but I didn't want to leave the channel just upended at this point in time. And I did want to say how I am moving on to some other stuff. The office still kind of sits about the same. I'll give you a quick tour around. Wife's desk, my desk, the fish tank. Fish tank's looking a little ugly. Had was on vacation and had the blinds in the window break, and we had sunlight come in for over a week. So I'm fighting a really big algae bloom that I've had to really scrub, take the corals off that I could move, and really scrub the tank. And it's kind of in an ugly stage, but I'm working on getting it back in shape. So the fish tank is still here and rolling, salt water, and real coral, live reef tank. But it's one of the challenges of it, one of the things I enjoy. And like I said, I want to move on to different things for the channel, move the channel in a different direction. And I hope you will all hang in there and find something interesting else that I'm doing as well. I will come back, like I said, if anybody has any ideas on what to do with old phone farms, other than break them down and sell them. And maybe one of these things will do a giveaway at some point with some of them, because right now it's just been hanging on the wall. They don't take up much space, so why not? They're not plugged in. They're not using any power. There's no drain on the internet source, so that's just kind of sitting there hanging out. It is always a conversation piece. Anytime somebody stops over and comes in the office, they're like, "Oh, what the heck's that going on?" That's always a fun thing to talk about. I just wish it was like a couple years ago where you could really make good money, but most of the apps have dried up and gone away, and the ones that are available take a lot of, you can't use these cheap phones anymore for them. You got to have more expensive phones, more expensive storage, stuff like that. But they're all off. There are some other ideas I've had with doing phones, talking about, setting up like a click farm and stuff like that, where you could potentially do some other options with automation on some of these that aren't running through specific apps. But it's all time, it's all the experience of getting everything set back up. And once again, these older phones, it may not be an option as far as things that can be done on them. So if you're still doing phone farming, I would love to hear on this video in the comments section about how are you doing, what are you doing with your phones. I still do watch a lot of the guys in the phone farming community here on YouTube, and it is neat to see how people's channels have changed, people's channels have grown, and stuff like that, and what they're now doing. It started as a real grassroots type thing that kind of blew up for a while, and now it's kind of calmed down. But the resurgence of crypto mining has really become a big topic, and this is one of them things that kind of fits into that, because there was a time you could do some minor crypto mining through phones, although you're never going to pull any sort of big big crypto mining through phones itself. But it was something that you could have done, especially years ago. Was one of the things that early you could have got into and done stuff with your phones that actually made you some pretty decent money. And there's always things that you can look back and say, hey, I should have done this, maybe I should have done that. Heck, if we did that, we all should have bought stuff years ago, and we would all be millionaires at this point. But most of us didn't. Maybe some of us did. Hey, maybe somebody watching this channel has a whole bunch of money they made doing stuff like this. But I just wanted to come on and make a video saying that I do thank everybody that's hung around here, especially through a year of not making any videos. The channel still has technically grown. I could pull up the thing and say, hey, from a year ago when I stopped making videos, there still has been growth in the channel. That shows that the content is evergreen. There's always something on there that people can go on. I do see comments on videos that I've made 2-3 years ago that I still try and get on there and answer from time to time. But as far as the phone farm itself, it's turned off. That's the way it's going to be probably for a little while. I still do use some apps on my my phone itself, my solo phone I carry around, and most of them are receipt scanning apps, because some of them are still in use, and still you can make a little extra money there on the side. So I thank you all for watching. We're coming up here on 10-minute runtime on the video, talking about nothing but staring at my wall. That's kind of a long video. So if you hung in there till the end, I thank you so much. Leave a comment. Let me know what you're doing, whether you're a subscriber to the channel or not, and whether you are interested in any sort of outdoor type stuff, because I have a kind of a redo of my backyard, and I've shown a little bit of the plants that I was working with and stuff before, but there's a whole different reset. The whole year has made quite a bit of difference, and as far as stuff that we're doing outside here in Florida. So I thank you all for joining me. As always, everybody have a wonderful day.